Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the CCS podcast. I'm Jordan Schaefer, joined with the wonderful Hagen Miller. We're here today to talk all about the Bible and fun stuff and how our day's been. We know that's the thing you really want to hear about. Is how has Jordan and Hagen's week been?
How's your day been so far, Jordan?
So far, so good.
Wow.
As they say.
Good.
How about you?
It was like 40 degrees this morning.
Toasty.
And now it's snowing.
Isn't that interesting?
So that's good.
Yeah. How's this week of prayer and fasting been for you so far?
It's been pretty good. Yeah.
Nice.
It's been a different flow of things, but it's good. So,
yeah. It doesn't feel like a Wednesday today.
It doesn't, does it?
Yeah. It's just like, huh. But it's a good day still.
Yeah.
School's back in session over here. We got the kids downstairs. Bible class, chapel, all the school things going on. So that's fun. The nightly prayer meetings.
Yes.
Have been wild.
If you're catching this on Friday, you could still meet us Friday night and Saturday night.
Yes,
so it's
sir.
not too late to
Not
join.
too late. Come on over.
Yeah. Yeah.
They get crazy.
Yeah,
Not really.
Today's Wednesday, so I'm excited to see what tonight looks like with it
Yeah.
not being study, but just doing prayer
Sure.
to see
The study people
who
show
doesn't
up.
come. They're just praying.
You'll come.
They're just praying.
You'll come for the Bible study, but you won't come for prayer. No, I get it. Some people don't enjoy the corporate prayer, and that's okay.
Do you actually know what I appreciate?
What do you appreciate?
You know, we're 3 days in: Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 3 sessions in, and there's been a few people that have come every night, and they don't say a word, and that's actually cool in a sense. It's like they see a value in them being there for whatever reason. They don't either feel comfortable praying or they don't feel like they have anything to say, but they still are just in the group,
Sure.
and they're faithfully coming, and I think that's kind of neat.
That's super cool.
So it's like, hey, not everyone has to be a talker.
Yeah, and some people come 45 minutes late, but we still appreciate them and love them. And that was me last night.
Always talking about yourself, yeah.
Because I was watching this movie called The Peanut Butter Falcon.
Of course.
Have you seen it?
Please, I've recommended it to millions.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw it in theaters when it came out. And last night I was like, what's a good movie? And it came to me. Such a good film.
It's a feel-good movie, isn't it?
Oh, well, I get emotional. And I just,
Like,
I mean, there are good emotions mostly, but it's just like,
yeah. It's a good
it's
movie.
like if you want your heartstrings tugged.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean by a feel-good movie?
Yeah, it's like a kind of drama.
Like a cry
feel-good
almost.
movie.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
in the end, it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Unless you think he's going to die.
Well, don't spoil it.
And then he has like his birthday cupcake. You remember that? And then, but no, he's not dead. It's like, oh, good.
yeah,
That's
I-
quite the
I
twist.
never saw that movie advertised
Yeah.
anywhere. And then Dane recommended it to me, and I watched it with him. And then I watched it when Josh John lived with me. Ask him. Josh John will say that movie changed his life.
Oh, really?
Ask him. Yeah. He hypes
funny.
it up.
I want to watch that movie with Sammy. I told her Sammy about it last night, and it's like we need to watch this movie. So maybe this weekend I'll have Sammy over and
That's
we
a
can
good
watch
one.
it.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking of other short. I have this theory, and I'm curious about your opinions. Movies shouldn't be more than 100 minutes long.
Depends.
Okay.
Pirates of the Caribbean are pretty long, and I'm glad they are.
I think they could have been 100 minutes.
Yeah.
I think they would have been fine, especially when the later ones, because they get longer
Are
as
you
they
talking
go.
about Pirate now?
I'm sorry, what?
Are you talking about Pirates?
Pirates of the Caribbean? Have you seen? Yeah, you've seen them
Yeah,
all.
I've seen them all.
There's just dragging on and
Well, it's
on
almost like it's
and
like we have
on.
all this cool CGI, and we need to use it as much as we possibly can.
Yeah, and it's just like you can tell, and I'm pretty sure the shortest one's the first one, because they have a story to tell, and the story they have to tell only takes 100. When you have all this extra fluff stuff, because you really don't have a good story, so you just need to come up with random
Explosions
crap
and
and
getting
explosion. It
eaten
takes
and-
2-3 hours. The new Avatar's 3 hours long, and it's like,
I haven't even seen the old one.
who cares? It's like, oh my goodness. So I think you could, if you have a good story, you can fit it in to 100 minutes easy.
There you go.
And those are the best movies. The best movies are the shorter ones.
Yeah.
The ones that are just on and on and on and on. I mean, maybe there's an exception. I can't think of one.
I'm trying to think of the longest movie I've ever seen, and I don't even know.
The Lord of the Ring movies are
I
pretty
haven't seen
long,
those.
but those are a little bit different because they're trying to adapt these books, and the books are hecking long. So it's like I don't know how
You
you
would
can,
make an excuse for Lord of the Rings.
so I don't know how you can make them shorter because you're trying to adapt. But like this like original film, it's like films are a medium where it should only take 100 minutes. And I'm not just saying that. I thought about this. I'm not just saying that because it's like a short attention span. It's like I'll sit down and watch a movie and not be on my phone at all. Like, that's important.
Stop.
And I saw this thing recently where they're making movies and they're making shows. This is true with the new Stranger Things. They're making it with they're making these shows second screen shows. What does that mean? It means they know that people, while they're watching their shows, are just scrolling on Instagram or are just shopping online. So they're making the shows and movies so dumbed down and like so, like you don't even have to really be paying attention to know what's going on. They just over explain everything. Everything's just so slow and repetitive. And they do that with shows. They do that with movies. We watched a kids movie yesterday, me and Avery did, and it's just like it feels like this movie's for people who with ADHD who can't pay attention, and it's probably true.
Yeah,
they make these movies, they make these shows just like I don't know, not yeah.
Well, you know what isn't a second screen production? This podcast.
No. This requires
your full
undivided attention. Amen.
Have you seen Hunt for the Wilder People? That's the other Dane Power recommendation that he.
That's not the one where like the guy and his grandpa go into the woods, right?
The chubby boy.
The chubby boy.
Yeah.
I did watch that one. It's
did you
pretty
watch
good.
It with me, maybe.
No, I watched that one on my own. That's the one by That's like the Takiki, the director.
The same people that probably did Jojo Rabbit, I'm guessing.
Yes,
because it's
very similar.
Yeah,
I love Jojo Rabbit's probably. I like Jojo Rabbit
John
way
loved
more.
That one too.
It's such a good movie.
I exposed him to some non-Adam Sandler movies when he lived with me.
Yeah,
and he really liked them.
Yeah, that's good. It's good when you broaden your horizons. Yeah, I think Jojo Rabbit and Peanut Butter Falcon are like up there for my top favorite movies ever.
Yeah,
they're just so good, so heartfelt. Jojo Rabbit's fun.
Well, it's such a weird story.
Sure,
but if you can see past it, it's very good.
Well, I think it's so good, and I think it's it's like, what would it be like growing up in Nazi Germany?
What would it be like if you saw a fantasy of Hitler nonstop? What would it be like?
I mean, that happened in reality, and it's stupid to pretend like it didn't.
Okay.
It's like, what was it like growing up, like a young boy growing up in Nazi Germany? What would he imagine? And would Hitler be his imaginary friend? And would he have to come to terms with Hitler being bad and then have to kick Hitler out his imaginary window? I think so.
Well, the window was real, right?
The window was real, yes, that's true. But the scene was imaginary. Yeah, and it's just like that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Jew hiding in his attic and many people today would just sell that Jew out right away.
They'd call up Candace Owens and
they say,
"Come and
got one." Got one. Probably in league with Benjamin, aren't you?
Yeah.
Expose him. But not JoJo. Not JoJo. What's your favorite movie, Hagen, before we move on to...
Ever?
I've learned recently, don't ask people like the best part or something because then they think too hard. Just say like, what was a really good part? So what's one of your really favorite movies?
Well,
people like overthink things.
I love Home Alone.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
We're just coming out of Christmas, but outside of a holiday movie, I love all the Avengers. I love Harry Potter.
You love all the
Pirates.
Avengers. That's interesting.
Yeah, I like all those type, but I love Fast and Furious.
Yes, you do.
And the new one's supposed to come out. It was supposed to come out 2025. They pushed it back to 2026, and now I hear they might be pushing it back to 2027.
Oh my gosh!
The final one.
What are they doing?
It's I don't know, staff conflict with the different actors because they're so big. They're big shots, and they got to get them all together to do the acting.
They don't want to.
It's a problem.
Yeah,
but it's gonna happen. It just keeps getting pushed.
Yeah, the Fast and Furious movies are good, but it's just like I can't choose one that's my favorite because they're all kind of like blend together. I like the one where they go to Brazil with a safe. That one's fun.
Yeah.
After that, I feel like they never really live up to that again. And the ones before that are just interesting as well.
And I'd never seen them until like 2 years ago, and then I
it changed your
life.
Yeah. You really like the Avengers movies.
When you realize these movies are not about fast cars, but they're about family.
That's true.
The most important thing in this world is the people in this room. Me familiar.
Amen. What about which Avengers movie is your favorite?
I mean, the Spider-Mans are good. The Tom Holland Spider-Mans are
yeah.
nice. Civil War is good.
Civil War is probably one of the best movies. Yeah.
But yeah, those keep my attention.
Yeah.
I have a hard time getting into new stuff sometimes and like understanding characters. Like I'd be lost in Lord of the Rings for quite a while. Harry Potter makes sense to me for some reason, even though I haven't read them. But like I understand the characters and what they're doing.
Yeah, it's just like it's magic. There's magic school.
I would watch like parts of Lord of the Rings. It was like, wait a minute, who's this guy? What's he about? What's
There's
his
definitely way
backstory?
more. You have to kind of know a little bit more for Lord of the Rings. Harry Potter's just like it's the real world, but magic's real, and they go to school.
But Avengers was easy to track because they have uniforms, outfits. You can tell who's who.
That's true. Yeah. The outfits do help. Yeah, no.
You don't like the Avengers, it sounds like.
I know. I like
you just
the
didn't
Avengers.
think I would?
No, I just didn't think you would that much. It just didn't seem like you'd really enjoy that. I'd never really heard you talk about
Interstellar was a hit.
Interstellar's an alright movie.
When I saw Interstellar, it was like, whoa.
Whoa.
I understand quantum physics.
Yeah, everyone thought that coming out.
Yeah,
it's
like,
movie.
this is so crazy. Time travel.
That's just a long movie. Again, that is a long movie. It's just like, sheesh.
Maze Runner, the first Maze Runner I like. The rest I don't really know much about, but I like that storyline.
The Maze Runner,
Hunger Games, not a fan of, even though I love Jennifer Lawrence.
Really?
I do not like the Hunger Games. First one's fine. The rest get too weird for me.
That does
I get lost.
That does seem to be with like these young adult novels. The first one starts with this good premise, and then it just gets weird. And Harry Potter's kind of the exception to that.
It gets better.
It gets better, but they kind of stick to what they're good at. It's magic. Like we're just Hogwarts. We're going back to Hogwarts every single year until you get to the final two movies where they kind of leave Hogwarts, but then it comes back in the battles at Hogwarts. I'm reading the final book right now, and it's good. It's definitely way different because the whole time they're not in Hogwarts until the very end, like I just said. And so it's just like very
book.
Both.
Oh.
The first Deathly Hallows Part 1, which growing up Deathly Hallows Part 1 was my least favorite movie, but I've rewatched it recently and I can really appreciate it for what it does. It's very good, honestly. Them sneaking into the Ministry of Magic, which has been like overturned silently. There's a lot of like political commentary in that like last two movies.
You think so?
Yeah, it's like very.
They're trying to give us a message.
Well, yeah, there's just like this. It's not even a message. It's just a good story of like, okay, if there were words, how would you overthrow this government? And they do it, and it's just like very, and like how do you control people? And like it's just very, very well done, and it's just very real.
And good wins in the end.
Of course, it always does. But what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, on Harry Potter's parents' graves, James and Lily Potter, J.K. Rowling has 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 26, and the last enemy that shall be defeated is death. It's like, wow. Thanks, J.K. Rowling. And then Harry's like, what does that mean? And Hermione says, it's, something. Like, they don't say it's the Bible, but Harry's like, what the heck?
Huh.
So I just like that. So, Christian book, Christian movies, powerful story.
Yeah.
But we're not here to chit-chat about movies all day, Hagen.
We are here to talk about a very powerful story. And not story meaning not real, but story meaning something that's written. And some would say it's the best story.
The best story, yes.
And we're in the beginning of the story, actually.
The very beginning, yes.
Yeah, like verse 4.
Verse 3 or 4, yeah. Genesis chapter 1, we looked at last week. Last week feels forever ago. It does not feel like last week. But last week, we talked about how in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. How God is timeless. He's outside of reality. He's outside of time, so he created it. And now we're going to look at the first 6 days of creation, probably the seventh day where he rests too, in chapter 1. And we talked about how God borrowed, in verse 1, that word created is bara, which means create something from nothing. And now in the rest of the days, in the 6 days, he's just going to be forming. He's going to be putting together the building pieces he created in verse 1. These 6 days, he's just going to be forming all of them.
Yeah, bara is the opposite of what it sounds. People from where you came from would be like, yo, let me borrow your car.
Would they say that?
I think so.
Okay.
Right?
Maybe.
Isn't it like if it, borrow? Let me borrow your car.
I don't think that's a real thing, but maybe that's how we
and
say
it's
it.
like so you're like taking something that already exists, but borrow is like creating out of nothing.
That's good. Thanks for the commentary. Well, verse 3 says, and God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw the light that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. So evening and morning were the first day. First day of the week, which is Sunday.
Sunday.
People get confused about that. Some people think it's Monday. It's like, no.
Separation.
Sunday's the first day. Yep.
The day of dividing darkness. Sunday.
Amen. We see here God creates light. Many people see, like we talked about last time, that God said, and they go to John 1:1, and beginning was the Word said, and light's there, and Jesus says, I'm the light of the world, also in John's Gospel, so we can definitely see Jesus in verse 3 with being the light. It's interesting, people ask, well, how could there be light without the sun and the stars? That doesn't come till day 4, so how can there be light here? Well, the idea is that God is light. Jesus is light, and we see that at the end of the book of the Bible in Revelation chapter 22, in the new heavens and the new earth, this it goes back to being like this. Revelation 22. I'm not quite sure what verse, but I'll find it. Revelation 22 verse 5 says, there shall be no night there shall be no lamp nor light of the sun, for the Lord God gives them light, and they shall reign forever and ever. In the new heavens and the new earth, there is no sun, because God is the light. And so we don't need electricity. We don't need the sun. So here, before God creates the sun, he's just the light, and he creates light. And then the earth's rotating around him, spinning around him. So we get that day and night cycle, because the darkness he calls night, light he calls day. So he's the sun. And the S-U-N and the S-O-N.
There you go. I just want to point out something as we study along verse 4. And God saw the light that it was good. So we're going to see this come up a lot. This statement of God's creation, good, good, good.
Yes.
So that's kind of the first place we see it there.
Light is good. I think we know that instinctively, that's the word I'm looking for, that light is something good. You don't want to would you rather walk around a cemetery in the daytime or the nighttime, Hagen?
Daytime.
Probably daytime, because it's just like something about darkness. It's just the absence of light, and people are afraid of the dark. We just know that darkness deep down is not good, and I think that comes back to here. Light is good.
Spiritual thing.
God said light is good. Darkness, not so good.
The reason why people are afraid of darkness and snakes is for spiritual reasons.
I think so. I think the reason we're afraid of darkness is just there's the unknown to it, but it's probably spiritual as well. In 2 Corinthians, Paul uses this whole darkness and light analogy of like people who don't know Jesus, they're in the dark, and then when they see Jesus, when they come to Jesus, their eyes are open and they move into the light. So this idea of darkness, of not knowing, of confusion, of you walk around and you stub your toe on the edge of the table, just this confusion, this pain, and then you come into the light and it's like, I can see things. And when people come to Jesus, you can see things for how they really are. You're not tricked by the world anymore. So we see that there for sure. Some people would say, now we'll talk about this later. But this idea that some people would see the three main fundamental forces or energies being created in these first couple verses. Those would, of course, be, let me look at my notes so I don't say this wrong. The three types of forces in physics, because there's like atomic force, which is matter, which God created in verse 1. There's gravitational force, which we see that in the Holy Spirit with verse 2. And then there's electromagnetic force, which is light. And those are the three main forces in physics: atomic, gravitational, electromagnetic. All the energy, everything this world's built off of, or based off of those three things. And in the first three verses of Genesis, we see those three forces come into being.
Gravitational is the one Interstellar's about.
Yes, that's true. Gravity's a big deal. Gravity affects time, and gravity's crazy. So that's the first day there. You ready to move on to the second day?
Let's do
we got
it.
6 of them to get through, and we're 7. Then God said, verse 6, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. Thus God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And so it was. And God called the firmament heaven. So the evening and morning were the second day." Notice here the second day, which would be what day of the week? It'd be Monday. And notice, Hagen, there's nothing good on Monday.
Whoa.
Even God agrees with that. No good on Mondays. No good. Here we see that God's dividing the waters from the waters. He creates this firmament. And this is kind of confusing to some people, and some people definitely get weird at this verse. It's actually very simple. All God's doing here is creating the atmosphere, this breathable thing that we have, the atmosphere that's not in outer space, that's not underground, it's here, this atmosphere that we can breathe this air. That's the firmament. And there's waters beneath the firmament, and then there's waters above the firmament. What's that talking about? It's just our clouds. It is the air we're breathing right now is the firmament. Clouds up there, water beneath us. Very simple. Some people also see that there, before the flood, there could have been this water,
Firmament?
the firmament's the atmosphere. There's waters above the firmament, it would say, right there in verse 6. The waters above the firmament could be just clouds, but it could also be speaking of this water layer around the earth. And now this isn't too crazy. This isn't too crazy for a couple reasons. One, it would explain where all the water from the flood came from. It's just like, okay, where's all this water coming from? Well, the firmament, it opens up in the water above the firmament, that water comes down. 2, it could maybe explain why people live so long in Genesis. Because, there's not really a way to prove this, but people could study the amount of pressure that would be on the earth if there was this water layer above the atmosphere, and the pressure would be higher, but actually that would be good for us. This hyperbaric pressure. And people actually today, I don't know if you know this, Hagen, they go into hyperbaric chamber.
My grandma used to do it.
They go into these hyperbaric pressure chambers, and it's good for your body. It's good for your cells.
One of our listeners has one of these.
Oh, really?
Well, maybe they should say their name, but I'll tell you who later. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we should go try one of these
every week. So get in your hyperbaric chamber.
Yes, and it helps people maybe Adam and Eve living in this would live for a lot longer. Also, along with the idea that there's sin hasn't completely corrupted the genetics yet, or as much, so people would live longer for that reason. People see this as maybe blocking the harmful radiations from the sun, so people wouldn't get skin cancer. So there's a couple reasons why maybe you'd think this. Maybe this would allow for the larger mammals and dinosaurs to live, because there is this higher amount of pressure, so they could these bigger animals could survive and move more easier. People can get all smart and
so the environment. 2 things actually: the environment pre-fall, but also the environment pre-flood is a bit different than the environment after those things.
Probably. And if you don't want to buy into that, that's fine. It could just be speaking of clouds.
Because another idea is that when it talks about later on about, it appears, and it doesn't say it directly, but it does unsay it, and that is that maybe it never rained until the flood.
Yes.
Because water came up from the ground with a mist. So and that's a whole nother level of faith when we get to Noah here in a month, 9 months from now. It's like water's going to fall out of the sky. It's going to rain. It's going to flood. It's like we've never even experienced rain. Like, what do you mean, Jesus? What do you mean, God? Water's going to come from the sky? Yeah. Come on. That's crazy. It comes up from the ground and mists.
And if you've never seen it rain before, rain would be a crazy idea. I mean, these little droplets of water are going to fall randomly.
So
that's I buy into that. I think it makes sense just from a simple reading of it. This doesn't mean the Earth's flat. Some people read that and say, or space isn't real.
You don't think outer space is water? Is that what you're telling me?
I don't think outer space is water.
Okay.
That's what some people take from this.
I know.
The outer space.
Some people
And
do
that's
very
why
believe that.
things look so weird, because they're just that's why stars twinkle, because you're looking through water, and things move in water or whatever. And it's like, well, okay, that's ridiculous. Let's go into the third day. Let's go to Tuesday. Verse 9 says this: Then God said, "Let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together the waters he called seas. And God saw that it was good. Let the waters under the heavens. One more thing with the heavens. Paul, again in 1 Corinthians, talk about this idea there's three heavens, not in the LDS way of thinking about it, but it's just like the heaven as in the atmosphere that we're living in right now, or above us right now, or kind of around us. There's outer space heaven, and then there's where God is, heaven. So when it talks about heaven there, it's not talking about where God is. It's just talking about the atmosphere. So that's important to keep in mind. But the waters under the heaven, what did they do? They kind of divided on this third day, and ground came up. Did I read verse 11 yet? No.
Nope.
Then God said, "Let the earth bring forth grass and herb that yield seed, and the fruit tree that yields fruit according to its kind." And that's important. "Whose seed is in itself on the earth." And it was so. The earth brought forth grass and herb that yields seed according to its kind, and the tree that yields fruit, whose seed is in itself according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. So the evening and morning were the third day.
That'd be a good name for a band.
The third day?
Third day.
Oh, wow. That's good.
But I think it's from
Third day?
a different 3 days in the
Third
Bible.
day? What do we have on the third day? We have life.
Resurrection.
Amen. The good stuff right there. Yes. We have the ground coming up, dry land, and then on that dry land, we now have vegetation, all sorts of kinds of things, all the plants. The plant kingdom is quite impressive. I had this written in my Bible, but I fact-checked it this morning just because you never know what's written in here. But if you take a single grain of corn and plant it and let it grow into a cob, in that cob there's about 800 kernels. And you plant all those, they can all grow into cobs. And you plant all those, they can all grow into cobs. And it would only take around 6 years from a single grain of corn to cover the entire planet in corn.
And that is why they put corn in everything.
Yeah, because it's very...
Our fuel has ethanol in it from corn, high fructose corn syrups and everything. Because it's so easy to grow.
The plant, it's a very powerful force. The plant kingdom, trees, all these things are very the DNA that's in them.
Do you like corn?
I like corn as much as the next. Avery loves corn. My wife, she loves it.
On the cob?
On the cob, off the cob. It doesn't matter.
The meme, right? I like corn.
I have seen that. Yeah, the little kid.
The black kid.
He's a cutie.
He's just like holding a corn on a cob. It's like, how do you even eat that? And he like so loves corn.
It's tasty. It's very good. Here we see for the first time yields fruit in verse 11 according to its kind. This idea that things reproduce and they reproduce what they are. You take an apple seed, it's going to grow into an apple tree. It reproduces after its kind. You take an orange seed, it's going to produce an orange tree. Things don't change, things don't mix, things produce what they are. This goes against what many people would call the theory of evolution. That things actually don't produce after their kind. They can produce after different things if you just give them enough time. If you give a monkey enough time, it will turn into you, Hagen.
Hey,
that's enough. That's the idea. You give a fish enough time, it will turn into a wolf, which will turn back into a whale, go back in the water, and the whale will be a whale. And it's like that's ridiculous. There's this very good video on the website's called the John 10:10 Project, and maybe I'll link it down below. But it talks about just the ridiculous idea of whales evolving. And it's just like, and then evolutionists think they have this whole timeline figured out, but it doesn't make sense. This idea that an animal would come out of the water, get all these, the reproductive system, the lung capacity, all these things that mammals have, and then somehow it would be beneficial for it to go back into the water 24/7. And it's like, no, that doesn't work, because one, what are the benefits of an animal with long legs getting shorter and shorter legs? There's no evolutionary benefit to that. And if there's no evolutionary benefit to that, if it going back in the water, sorry, I'm getting passionate because this is just crazy, then it wouldn't survive. Because the whole theory of evolution is that changes can happen if it's beneficial. But there's nothing beneficial about that. What's beneficial about the animal's snout moving from here to the top of its head? It can't just happen in one go. It has to slowly move back after generation and generation and generation. There's no survival benefit for your snout to being in the middle of your head. You don't survive.
Hey.
And it's just like, or up, it's like, yeah, it's ridiculous. And there's a lot of reasons of evolution why it's like we see mutations where we get the X-Men from, but we never see new information. You're not into X-Men, but we never see new information. So like you could be born with 6 fingers, or you could be born with an extra nose, but the information from that nose or those fingers are just there. It's just messed up a little bit. Mm-hmm. You'll never sprout wings. Never, because there's not the information for wings in your DNA. There's that new information will never come about, and we've never seen that. So yeah, it's ridiculous.
You know the difference between a fruit and a vegetable?
The seeds.
Yeah, fruit have seeds in them.
Yeah, that's why tomatoes are fruits.
Cucumbers, fruit actually.
Isn't that crazy?
Have seeds in them.
Yeah.
Corn is not a vegetable.
It's a stalk?
It's a grain.
Oh, it's a grain.
You're eating the seed of the corn, like with wheat. What you're consuming is the seed.
Yeah.
It's a grain. Interesting.
Learn something new every day. So yeah, it's ridiculous. I have written here there's 5,000 species of grass.
That's a lot.
And who has that job of distinguishing what kind of grass is which?
Hey.
Yeah. That's crazy. I also have here that God created roses because he liked how they smell. And nature is kind of beautiful. Okay. Here's the fun saying. He created roses before there were noses to smell them. He created apples and oranges and watermelons and kiwis. Kiwis are good. Before there were taste buds to taste them. And that's just, I don't know where you go with that, but I just kind of like this idea that God's just kind of.
Where'd you hear that?
Joe said that.
Oh, wow.
And I just like this idea that
God. It sounded like you're like saying this poem almost. And I'm thinking, is there more?
No, just kind of like this truth that God he's just kind of getting this world ready for us. All these cool things that we explore, all these amazing
love
things.
Before
there was
you existed.
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
Yeah, but he could love himself. So yeah, but that one's good too. Yeah, so he's just getting this place ready for you, for me, and this world is really good. Let's see, verse 14. Then God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens." So it knows a different firmament than the one that we have, the firmament of the heavens. So there's the firmament of the earth, which is our atmosphere, but then there's the firmament of the heavens, which would be outer space. To divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and seasons, and for days and years, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heavens, to give light on the earth. And it was so. Then God made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of the heavens to give light on the earth and to rule over the day and over the night and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. So the evening and the morning were the 4th day. We see here that God creates all the stars, the sun, moon, and why does he create them? He creates them for to tell times and seasons. Because we're traveling around the sun, we're able to know what day of the year it is, and we're able to have these day and night cycles and spring, autumn, fall. Season cycles? We're able to have those as well because of the moon and all that. People are able to tell interesting things with the position of the stars and stuff. We're able to kind of figure out stuff with that. I have no way of knowing this is true, but I've heard it and I believe it. The Earth's not in the center of the universe. The sun's in the center of the universe, but the Earth is in the perfect spot to observe the universe. just kind of where we are in the Milky Way galaxy and where the Milky Way galaxy is, the Earth's able to see everything perfectly. So God wants us to observe the universe. God wants us to observe the stars. God wants us to go to the moon. God wants us to do these things.
I'm the last guy you want to talk to outer space with because it's just like, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think it's what people think it is.
That's interesting.
And I have no other theory other than I think they make up a whole bunch of stuff about outer space.
Maybe.
And it's just like, I think it's awe. It's in awe. Like you look out, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
But I don't think they know anything about 100 million light years. It's like, you're just
that is
making
pretty
that up.
crazy to say that we
That's
know
just theory.
100. The idea of 100 million light years.
Yeah.
That's the speed of light traveling for 100 million years.
Yeah, you're just making it up.
And how fast is the speed of light? Pretty fast. Yeah, turn on a light and see how quickly it takes for that light to get to you. Pretty quickly it gets to you.
Yeah.
So I can agree with that we know probably way less than we lead on because we want to act like we're smart. But it makes it all the more impressive that God in verse which one is it? Verse 16 says, and he made the stars also.
That's right.
So that includes all the known galaxies, everything that we can see, those stars which are really stinking big, way bigger than the Earth. You can fit a whole bunch of our suns in some of those stars. Our sun's big, but compared to other stars, our sun's small, and God made that all as kind of a side thought. It's like, oh yeah, I made the stars also.
Yeah.
Just kind of creates them. Psalm 19 tells us the heavens declare the glory of God. That when we look up, it's like, someone must have made all that. And we know that. And to pretend like someone didn't make all that is kind of crazy. Are there aliens out there? What's your name, Hagen?
Nice to meet you.
That's good.
What were you going to call me?
Sammy, I think.
Oh, hey.
Sorry.
Hey, it could be called worse.
Yeah.
I don't think so. No.
No. I think there's aliens. Illegal ones. We get them out of our country.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
I don't think there's extraterrestrials.
Yeah. I don't think there's intelligent life outside of Earth, which is a distinction because I wouldn't be surprised because
I question if there's intelligent life on Earth.
There's bacteria and stuff, and it's like that's life, but like intelligent life. And the reason for that is that if there's intelligent life out there, can that intelligent life sin? And if the answer's yes, then God created something that sins, and is God going to love and trying to redeem those aliens? And if God wants to do that, does that mean he had to send his son to die for them? And it says that God only sent his son once to die for sin. So probably not. We know there's angels. I think angels could be considered maybe intelligent life that's outside of our reality. And oftentimes I think all these UFO sightings might be some Ezekiel wheels inside of wheel fallen angel stuff.
Yes.
So I could buy into that. But non-spiritual intelligent life on some planet out there, no. And we've never found a planet that could produce life like the Earth could, or could be inhabitable.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because they're just decorations. They're not meant to hold life like Earth.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see. What else is God going to do? He's kind of forming everything.
17.
17. Right? No, we already did 17. Verse 20.
Oh, wow.
We're zooming through. Then God said, let the waters abound with an abundance of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the face of the firmament of the heavens. So God created great sea creatures and every living thing that moves, with which the waters abounded according to their kinds, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth in the seas, and let birds multiply on the earth. So the evening and the morning were the fifth day. birds and fishes. Why does God just create birds and fishes here? Kind of goes back to this idea we talked about last time, that God's on the first 3 days of creation, he's kind of creating the environment. And on days 4, 5, and 6, he's filling the environment. So day 1, he created light. Day 4, he creates the light bearers, the sun and the stars. Day 2, he creates the oceans and the sky, the atmosphere. Day 5, he creates the birds that live in the atmosphere and the fish that live in the sea. Day 6, he creates the land and the plants. And then, day 3, he creates the land and the plants. And then day 6, he creates the animals that live there. So it's kind of this pattern back and forth of creating the environment, but then 3 days later, he creates what lives in the environment. So fish and birds. What's your favorite kind of fish, Hagen?
Salmon. It's the only one I know.
Please. You know other kinds of fish.
Gold. I'm not real into fish. But we know people that have been. What was his name who was coming to young adults for a while? The fish guy?
Oh, Isaac?
Isaac loved fish. Cameron loved fish.
Yeah.
Cameron's probably listening, Cameron.
Hey, Cameron.
We know you like your fish.
Yeah. I'll tell you what my favorite kind of bird is.
What's your favorite kind of bird?
It's the golden plover.
Why?
Well, actually, it's my second favorite because the eagles are my favorite. Go Birds. But the second favorite is the golden plover because they're born in Alaska, and before they're old enough to fly, their parents leave and go to Hawaii. Hey, and this is crazy. Their parents leave and go to Hawaii from Alaska. And then those baby little chicks, as soon as they're able to fly by themselves, without never being there, without no direction from their parents, without any Google Maps, they leave Alaska and they fly 88 hours to get to Hawaii.
Wow.
How do they know where if they go 1 degree off, they end up in the middle of the Indian Ocean or something. It's crazy. But God built their GPS in their little heads. They're able to get there.
Fish are like salmon that swim up. I mean, it's crazy what these animals do.
Yeah, they're smart, yeah.
Salmon spawning and swim upstream, and they know where to go, and it's just like, huh?
And the bear gets them.
And they just do it.
Yeah. Something hardwired. Intuition. Follow your intuition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not always, though.
Yeah.
Now we get to the 6th day. This is where things get good. Then God said, "Let the earth bring forth the living creature according to its kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beasts of the earth, each according to its kind." And it was so. And God made the beasts of the earth according to its kind, cattle according to its kind, and everything that creeps on the earth according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. Let him have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, over the cattle, over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth." So God created, and I'm pretty sure that word created there is bara. God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him, male and female, he created them. Then God blessed them, and God said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it. Have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over everything that moves on the earth."
The animals, and then man.
Yep.
I find it interesting that there's one animal that gets specified twice.
Which one is that?
It just says cattle.
Mm.
It talks about animals and creeping things, but it specifically says cattle in 2 places. And I think that cows exist for man to eat.
Amen.
Primarily in the animal kingdom, the majority of your protein should be from cows. And it's not just because I come from a ranching family. It's just like, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Cows produce just so well.
Yeah.
And chickens are okay, but your whole diet shouldn't be chicken. And pigs are fine, but your whole diet shouldn't be pigs.
I made some burger patties in my air fryer yesterday.
Yeah.
Those are tasty.
Yeah.
I have one in the fridge waiting for me, a leftover.
Wow.
Really quick, back to day 5, we saw in verse 21, so God created the great sea creatures. That word created is also bara. That's the second time we see the word bara. Verse 1, verse 21, and then again with man. So only 3 times we see the word bara.
Leviathan?
Maybe. Well, I'm kind of going off of there's God creates the matter from nothing in verse 1, and he's just forming that day 1, 2, 3, 4. Day 5, when he's creating fish, the great sea creatures, he creates something new, he baras, and I believe there he creates consciousness. Because fish, especially whales and dolphins and the smarter ones, are very conscious. They have this ability to understand their surroundings. Plants don't do that. Plants can adapt to their surroundings, but they don't have consciousness. Rocks don't do that. The water doesn't do that. But animals, fish, the great sea creatures do have that. So that's something new that God creates from nothing, consciousness. And then again, when he creates man, there's something new that wasn't there before. And I believe that would be our spirit. Because man, we have our body, we have our matter, we have our consciousness, but the animals have that. But then we also have something brand new that the animals don't have. And we have this spirit. So 3 times we see the word bara, third time with man. We get our spirit. God creates the dinosaurs here. I like that.
They're
God
part of it.
creates the behemoth, these big monsters.
Were you into dinosaurs?
I had a book.
I
feel like
I don't understand why the young boys love dinosaurs.
You
'Cause I was
don't?
never on it. I don't like lizards.
It's either you either choose trains.
I wasn't trains.
Car. You love trains.
No, it was not trains
What
either.
was it for you?
I don't know. It
Cowboy,
sure
being a
wasn't that.
cowboy?
I guess something more like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
but definitely not dinosaurs.
Boys kind of choose something that they love. It's either trains, dinosaurs, maybe being a cowboy. Yeah, they just kind of find this thing. You're like, whoa, trains. Us
I don't understand the train
us
thing
East
either.
Coast boys are just
It's
like,
like how many trains do
whoa.
you got to see?
They're just cool. You just don't understand. And dinosaurs are cool. Watch Jurassic Park and it's like, whoa, that T-Rex is crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
So he creates.
There's this one kid that came to our school when we first started, and he loved dinosaurs.
How old was he?
First, second grade when
wow.
he was here, and he would like pretend to be a dinosaur at recess, and he's just a dinosaur kid. I hope he grew out of it.
I hope not. I hope he never lost the wonder. That's good. That's good.
I think we know a lot less about dinosaurs than we let on to. But
Well, yeah, it's ridiculous. People used to say, "Did you know that dinosaurs had feathers, or they're related to chickens?" And then recently it came out. Actually, that's not true at all. They're not
don't
related to
say.
chickens, obviously, but not even in the evolutionary theory. They're not even related to chickens anymore. And they do not have feathers. So people just make stuff up, and then everyone believes it. And we say, that's how it is. And then years later, we're like, actually, that wasn't right. It's like, that's why you don't trust science that much, because it changes just like that. And then people gaslight you.
Yeah.
This is how it's. We've always thought this. It's like, please. You used to think that dinosaurs had feathers. You're crazy. But then after the cattle, after the dinosaurs, the crown jewel, the cherry on top of God's creation is you, Hagen.
wow.
It's man, Adam and Eve. Some people think that Adam and Eve were way bigger than we are today. They were created perfect, so they were like larger and just like perfect and like really. They had. What race were they?
I'm not gonna say.
They were all of them in one.
I'm not gonna say.
Because they had the genetic potential for all the races.
That is true.
So they were all the races put together. They were probably pretty stinking good looking, probably pretty buff too. Just these perfect human beings, no sin, corruption, no disease. Adam and Eve creates male and female. In chapter 2, we're going to get more details of this kind of story of God creating them. But chapter 1 just kind of gives us the overview of the 6th day of creation. And we notice there, what do we have over the animals? We have dominion over the animals. It's our job to be in charge of the animals. It's our job to take care of the animals. We can't eat the animals. Although they don't eat them here yet, right?
I would agree.
God doesn't allow that until after the flood. But we're still in charge. And that does come with responsibility. And, there's the environment nuts that are pretty crazy, but they're right about something, that God did give us this planet, and it's our job to take care of it. And maybe we shouldn't have our seas covered in plastic and dump sewage into the rivers maybe that's not the best thing to do. So
Okay, Al Gore,
you
take a
can get a
break.
little crazy,
Gosh.
but it is our job to take care of the planet. Climate change is nonsense, but we should do a good job. In Revelation, with one of the judgments, it says that God's going to destroy those who destroyed the earth. And it's like, sheesh. You don't want to be in that category of destroying the earth.
That's interesting, yes.
Yep. Ooh, this is big. Verse 27. So God created man in his own image. What does that mean, Hagen? We're made in God's image. And are we still made in God's image, or is that just Adam and Eve?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I think that, no, I think we are made in God's image.
Yeah.
I think all human beings are made in the image of God. I think it's what makes us different than the rest of chapter 1.
Yeah.
It's what makes us a unique part of his creation. That's what makes us not just animals.
Mm-hmm.
Human beings are not animals.
Mm-hmm.
We're something different.
Yeah.
And what makes us different is that we're made in his image.
Yeah. Sometimes people try to pick out one thing and say, well, we're creative, that's why we're made in the image of God, or we love, and that's why we're made in the image of God. And all those things are true. I think when you just kind of look at what it means, the idea we're made in the image of God, the idea is that we're image bearers, or we're supposed to represent who God is to the rest of creation. We're like a picture, or we're a statue of God. You look, if someone would make a stone statue of Hagen Miller, everyone could look at that and say, that's Hagen Miller. And they know it's not actually it's just an image of Hagen Miller. It's a picture of him. It has his qualities about it. It's not him, but it has his qualities. So we're made in the image of God. We're supposed to have the qualities of God, his love, his compassion, his creativity. And we see that in humanity that the animals don't have. But we're made in his image. For VBS, we talked about this on day 1, and very memorably, I printed out a picture of myself in a frame and put it on stage. And it's like, this is an image of Jordan. You look at it, it's Jordan. It's not actually Jordan, because we're not actually God, but we have the characteristics, the qualities. And I took a bottle of ketchup and chocolate syrup, and I squirted it all over the picture of Jordan. I said, what happened? I've ruined the image. It's still an image. It's still the image of Jordan. It's just marred. It's just not clear anymore what it is.
Things like tattoos.
no, not tattoos. No, sin. And when we sin, we corrupt the image of God. It's like pouring ketchup all over the painting. It's still an image of God, but it's been corrupted. It's no longer showing the qualities of God as it should, and that's what sin does to humanity. We no longer show who God is anymore because of our sin. And it's ruining the picture. So that's what the image of God is.
So when it says, verse 27, male and female, he created them. That is Adam and Eve.
Yes.
Some people get confused and think that maybe there were people before Adam and Eve because of how it's laid out. But they're not understanding chapter 1, and then chapter 2 is a further explanation of chapter 1.
Yes.
So this is Adam and Eve being created in verse 27. Then you'll just get the backstory or more detail of it in chapter 2, but it's not other humans.
Yeah, and it's very obvious when you're just reading it that that's what it is. People come up with these weird ideas, and I learned about this recently. The reason why there's all these weird ideas and weird theories is because in academia, or the intellectual people, to get your master's degree or to get your doctorate, you need to write your paper. You need to write this paper on something brand new. That's how you get into that world, is to come up with a new idea. And so you can't just teach the Bible for what it says, because that's been done for 2,000 years. So you need to come up with some new weird idea, and then that becomes mainstream, or people talk about that idea. So, well, actually, I have this new idea that actually the man and woman are Adam and Eve, and you write your whole paper about that. That's why there's so many weird ideas, because the whole system is built upon new ideas.
I don't know, but I think this verse, this idea that we're telling you is not true, is where the idea of Lilith comes from. Have you heard of that? Adam's had a first wife named Lilith, and then he had Eve. Are you familiar with that at all?
Not really, no.
I just know that much about it.
Oh, okay.
But I think the idea, and I don't know where they get the name for, I think they're getting some other source, place it over the Bible. It makes sense.
Yeah,
but,
because they want to come with some new fun idea.
Verse 27 is Adam and Eve being created.
Yep.
So what did so this, I mean, verse 28 is what?
Verse 28 is what?
It's the first what, if you will, of two coming together.
Oh, is it marriage?
Yeah, right.
Kind of. I think that's chapter 2, right? We see it more clearly in chapter 2.
So God blesses them.
That's true.
And then God
Okay,
says to them,
yeah.
be fruitful and multiply the earth and subdue it.
Having kids is good.
Have dominion over the flesh of the sea, over the fish of the sea, not the flesh of the sea.
Same thing.
Over the birds of the air, over every living thing that moves on it. So God's created them. He's brought them together. He commissions them. They have dominion over God's creation. Mankind does. They get to multiply as well.
Yep, having kids is good. We also see there this idea that we're made in the image of God. Well, who's the ultimate image of God? Well, that's Jesus Christ. So when God was making Adam and Eve, he probably had his son in mind, because the idea that the lamb was slain before the foundation of the world. Like, Jesus is the ultimate human, and we're all made like Jesus, who was made like a human. So you kind of think of it like the circular reasoning, where it's like we're made in the image of God, we're made like Jesus. Even though Jesus doesn't come until later, we're still all made like Jesus, who is God in flesh and who is the image of God. We're all made like him. So it all kind of, if you kind of think of that in a circular way, I like that. Verse 29 says, and God said, see, I have given you every herb that yields seed, which is on the face of all the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed to you. It shall be for food. Also, everything that creeps on, also every beast of the earth, to every bird of the air, and to everything that creeps on the earth, in which there is life, I have given every green herb for food. And it was so. Then God saw everything that he made, and indeed it was very good. So evening and morning were the sixth day. Wow.
People use this to try to justify marijuana.
Yes.
And I say, well, this is pre-fall.
Sure.
And just because God's made something
doesn't mean it can't hurt you.
And yeah, it doesn't mean the way you're choosing to consume it doesn't mean it's not going to be harmful to you.
Yeah.
And the
God made
example I
thorns
give
so I can stab myself with
is,
thorns.
have you touched stinging nettle?
Huh?
Stinging nettle?
No.
We have that around here. We don't have poison ivy around here. We have stinging nettle, which is like this leafy plant that literally has all these little things on it. You touch it and it stings pretty bad.
Sheesh.
And I say, like, just because God made stinging nettle doesn't mean it's wise to wipe your butt with it.
Yeah. Just because God made marijuana doesn't mean you want to be on it all the time.
Doesn't mean you need to smoke it.
Yeah.
Like, maybe that's not the best helpful thing for you to be doing. So, yeah.
Does it have no uses? You tell me. Would I ever do it? No, but
it has uses. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I think, yeah.
So everything's here. It's made. It's very good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the end of the sixth day.
Amen. Wow. Well, thanks for going through this week with me, Hagen. The 6-day week of creation. 7th day he'll rest, which is Saturday, which is the Sabbath.
So you think this is 6 or 7 literal days?
Yes. Oh, yes. Literal days. Yeah, we haven't really talked about that. But yeah, this is the word day there seems the evening and the morning were the first day. The whole context there is talking about a sunrise or a sunset and a sunrise, 24-hour day. Just reading it simply would kind of puts you in the position where it has to be 6 literal days.
So you're not walking away from Genesis 1 thinking, oh, this happened over billions of years.
No.
It seems like it's kind of just...
Yeah. And it's the idea is like, well, how could plants survive without the bees pollinating them? Probably not. And it's like things kind of need each other the whole system kind of needs itself. So things kind of come about very quickly. People read Genesis and feel like it shows us that the Earth's about 6,000 or 6 to 10,000 years old. And it probably is. Although many people would look at the things that we can see today and say, no, it's much older. And I'm not an expert on any of that. I don't want to pretend to be. I'm okay personally with the idea that God created, like we saw Adam and Eve as adults. He created them with age. and I'm okay with God he probably created full trees and not little saplings and waited 10 years for them to grow. He just created the full trees. So I'm okay with the idea of God creating this earth with an age. People then argue, like, well, it only seems older because of the flood and all this stuff happened, and I don't know anything about that. So I just say it seems from the Bible it's 6,000 to 10,000 years old. I think if you don't believe that, that's okay. But yeah, I think that's what the Bible teaches. And if things were created with age, that makes sense to me. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Seems pretty
Earth,
pretty reasonable.
Young Earth.
Young Earth, yeah. And if you're not willing to believe in the young Earth because of science, then it's like, well, what else are you not going to believe in because of science? What else are you going to
a guy being dead for 3 days and rising again?
You're very quickly you can very quickly have your whole faith unraveled if you're if you're just not willing to believe that, okay, God did Genesis 1. If God created the heavens and the earth, then he can do all these things. And we might not understand everything. We didn't even talk about the whole male and female thing. Hey, and if you had a quarter for every gender, how many quarters would you have?
I'd have 2 quarters.
2 quarters, yes. There's male and there's female.
Are those pants lined? Or what kind of socks are you wearing? I
wasn't going to bring this up.
Very interesting.
For a Christmas gift, I got Axel gave me these Donald Trump socks. So they have like Donald Trump hair on them. Aren't those pretty wild?
Okay, that was his hair I was seeing.
Yeah, I don't know if the people can see him right now. That's his hair. And they say Trump on them.
Wow.
Kind of as a gag gift. That's something to wear to the office on a Wednesday.
Sure. I thought it was like a feather. It's like, what is that? You have feathery socks?
Nope.
Like the dinosaurs?
I wish. Wow, Hagen. Well, that's good.
Genesis 1.
Genesis 1.